I give birth in 3 days and my husband just told me he wants a divorce. Our child is breech. In addition, my 33-year-old female right hip has a tendon that is out of position and giving me a lot of discomfort, and I hyperextended my knee on that leg when my hip gave out a few weeks ago. For the past 3 weeks of my pregnancy, I've been using crutches. I'm unable to walk on my right leg at all. In 3 days, I'll have a planned C-section. And he, a 35-year-old man, informed me today that he wants a divorce. I'm completely taken aback. I'm at a loss for words. I move from tears to fury attacks and back again. While I sit in our home, unable to drive or move about in any way, and no one is aware. How am I supposed to tell anybody this? We're preparing to invite my family and his family here to assist us with the baby. I'm going to have surgery and will be in a wheelchair since I can't walk and can't continue physical therapy for my hip/knee until I heal from surgery. I'm fully reliant on him for everything right now, and there's nothing more I can do till I'm recovered. For the last several months, he has been both physically and emotionally distant. He refused to speak to me. This pregnancy has not been a source of comfort for me. I've tried talking to him, sending lengthy messages, explaining how upset I'm to be going through this pregnancy alone, sobbing, begging, yelling, and nothing has worked. Nothing at all. He's been thoroughly examined. I've been driving myself mad, trying to find out how to contact him, especially now that our kid is on the way. We assumed from chatting with several friends that he must be really worried about becoming a father. This is our only kid as a couple. She had been intended. We both desired her. We've been married for 3 years and have been together for 5. My first marriage resulted in a 12-year-old kid. It's terrifying to be a new parent, I recall. So I've tried to be extra patient and courteous while he's out with his man buddies, spending hours at the gym, fitness training, and so on to distress. He no longer wants to be at home with me or spend time with me. I spoke to my therapist about it a few weeks ago, and we speculated that maybe since the kid is practically a part of me, and becoming a new parent is what's stressing him out, that's why he's gotten distant from me. It made some sense. My kid then went to his friend's birthday sleepover today. We're alone for the first time in a long time. Despite the fact that I'm severely crippled at the moment, I asked him if he'd want to do anything with me this evening. No. What can you even do? He mocked. I can go in the vehicle with you, and we can go eat ice cream and park by the river to speak about the baby. I'm making an attempt to watch football. I don't mean now, but rather afterwards. I'd want to watch football later as well. For the whole day. In addition, go to the gym. At this point, I'm in ask him why he's being such a jerk to me. You're constantly attempting to control my free time. I'm attempting to work out a plan with you. You constantly want to do things that I don't want to or like doing. We are capable of doing anything. It could be anything. I just want to spend some quality time with you. That's something you always say. I don't enjoy sitting here and watching TV. I need to interact with you in order to get near to you. You're no longer enjoyable to be around. I'm pregnant, crippled, and in pain. We're constantly squabbling. When? We've been arguing every time you speak to me recently. For example, right now, when all I want to do is sit here and watch the game. I've been attempting to reach out to you. Not a brawl. I'm becoming upset since you're unresponsive/uncommunicative. At this moment, I simply said, "Do you want a divorce?" "Why would you bring it up?" he said. That is not an acceptable response. Do you think so? I wasn't going to discuss anything with you right now. I was planned to inform you once C was born. I couldn't say anything. And, as you can see, you're always pressuring me to speak about stuff I don't want to talk about. You don't need to be concerned about that right now. You should be concerned about having C and not disturbing yourself. I've been irritated for months. I was aware that something was wrong, but I had no idea what it was. You want to get a divorce? Are you sure? Are we having a baby? When did you make this decision? I've been feeling this way for quite some time. You have to be aware. We quarrel constantly. I'm unhappy, you're unhappy. We don't enjoy the same things. I don't like your friends. You don't like mine. We're simply different people. We haven't been squabbling. What are they fighting about? I'm dissatisfied because I miss my hubby. I had no idea you were so upset. I know the epidemic has been difficult for us. I'm aware that I've suffered with my mental health while working from home throughout this period. But I'm going back to work in January, so that issue will be solved. In addition, having our kid makes me joyful. Which of your pals do you dislike? I haven't even spent much time with your buddies to dislike them. So, what makes you think that? We like doing stuff together. At the very least, we did. You're not a horrible person, believe me. I love you, but I'm simply not in love with you anymore. How long have you known this? Since before we tried to become pregnant. Why did you say something, TF? We should not have been pregnant. If that's what you wanted, we should have simply divorced. I had no idea what I want. I assumed that having C would make things better, but it didn't. And you simply made these choices on your own, without consulting me or telling me how you feel. I was certain I wanted C, you want C, but you don't want me. Is that what you're getting at? You made use of me. I took advantage of you. No, I wasn't sure at the time, but I am now. But don't worry, I'm not going to abandon you. I'll look after you till you're well. We can postpone the divorce till C is a little older, as in the next summer. I'm going to be a single mom again, just as cold, vicious, and heartless as that. Etta. Someone questioned whether he wanted to become pregnant or simply do what I wanted. Here's the solution. When we first met, I'd recently ended my divorce, following a 2-year custody fight with my son's father. On our first date in 2016, I told him I didn't want any more children. He said that he was okay either way. After we'd been dating for a few years, he mentioned wanting to be a father. I was reluctant, dreadful first pregnancy and emergency C-section delivery. He was well aware of this, but when we married in 2018, I gradually warmed up to the idea and even became enthusiastic about it. We acquired a new home with the intention of starting trying in early 2020, but then, COVID. So we both agreed to wait a little longer. Pregnancy is difficult. For me. I was quite ill with my kid and was on the verge of being hospitalized since I was losing weight rather than gaining. Concerned about this, I offered that we try again in fall 2020, when I would be working from home and would have a more flexible online schedule to allow my being unwell, as I was with my second pregnancy as well. So, technically, I suggested trying and it took many months, so there were numerous negative tests, and we could have stopped trying at various times. But it was his idea in the first place, and he was completely on board at the time. So he persuaded me. Story 2. My girlfriend, female 26, most likely cheated on me, male 27, in the start of our relationship. I'm not sure whether I should look into it more. My girlfriend and I get along well, and we're fantastic at conveying our doubts, anxieties, and ambitions for the future. We decided to be exclusive after a couple's holiday a few weeks into dating. We've grown in so many healthy ways since then that I can't even keep track of them all. She began talking about trust a few months back, and how much she trusted her ex before he emotionally cheated on her with his ex. It led to our first argument, in which I thought she was continually asking me for words of affirmation, but I never received them in return. We spoke about it, and she opened up and acknowledged she loved me a lot, but she wasn't sure I wouldn't take advantage of her if she verified she loved me. In her words, she was attempting to protect herself. Last week, a text message appeared on her phone with just one letter as the contact name. We share our phones while respecting one another's privacy. However, it piqued my interest. I ignored it, but last night she begged me to convince her that she could trust me and that I would not harm her. I don't know. I simply snatched her phone this morning when she was in the toilet and scrolled through the messages from this beginning. She never replied to the most recent, "Hello, how are you?" text. However, the earlier messages in which she breaks up with him are from after and she decided to be exclusive. She also boasts about our anniversary date being on the weekend of our first romantic excursion. However, she continued to contact this man for almost 3 weeks after that. This was more than a year ago. Should I admit to spying on her phone and question her about what transpired that caused her to continue seeing him after professing she wanted to be exclusive with me?